Now, in a related development, the DVLA has joined the Multimedia Group's Arrive Alive campaign to help curb road accidents. In the interim, the DVLA will visit commercial transport terminals to educate and get drivers to appreciate the need to be safe on the road and protect lives. I've been speaking to Kafui Semevo, who is Deputy Director of Driver Training, Testing and Licensing at the DVLA. I'm talking to Kafui Semevo. He's in charge of driver training and licensing as in Deputy Director at the DVLA, with the 37 DVLA office, and it's because of our Arrive Alive campaign. And Kafui was telling us about a collaboration that we're having together.
The other thing we want to do, especially with this collaboration with Multimedia, is to engage the various commercial transport terminals and then visit them, find out which vehicles are not supposed to be on the road because they are not roadworthy. Now, the point
is it because they are not roadworthy because they don't have the roadworthy stickers, or they have the stickers but they are still not roadworthy?
There are two things. You may go through the inspection, leave, and you may develop faults after the inspection. The sticker has been given to you because you are going 6 months. Every 6 months to do the inspection. Now, within the time you've had the inspection done and certified, and then the time the 6 months elapsed, anything could happen. But we expect that the owners of the vehicle take up the responsibility to ensure that even when the sticker is valid, the vehicle is still in the condition it was before it was certified. Now, if they are not doing this, then it is for us to step in and make sure they are doing it. And that is why we want to visit the various terminals, engage the leadership, encourage them to make sure that the vehicles that carry the passengers around are roadworthy. Now, the first step we want to take is that these vehicles that are identified will be told what is wrong and be given time to fix it.
Okay.
That will do a follow-up. If it is not done, then we have to apply some sanctions.
So what timelines are you given? So if you came in and realized that there were a few vehicles that were not roadworthy per your the standards that you're using, and what time would you give them to fix?
Now, if let's say we go in and see, depending on what the problem is.
So say there are no seat belts, for instance.
If there are seat belts, I mean, I can say that within 14 days minimum, we'll go back to find out whether those things have been fixed. Okay. If they are not done, then we can issue the layoff certificate to lay off those vehicles.
The issue is this will not be the first time that you'd be making an appeal to owners of vehicles and drivers to have seat belts in their vehicles.
Yeah, but you recall that when the policy was started, it started and there was some resistance. Okay, but now looking at the feedbacks we are getting, right? We can't sit back and say because people resisted, it is not good for us. What is good for us, we need to educate the people to understand why it should be done. And we need to guide them to do it and do it right.
But how sure are we that you will not excite us by saying you're going to enforce something and then leave us in the middle when there's a lot of pressure on you? I mean, also remember that this is a crucial year.
So remember, we have a dedicated task force, and that is their daily duty. Now, the collaboration is that it's sort of naming and shaming approach to it.
Okay.
So
that's why we're doing it together.
Exactly. So I don't see this collapsing, and I believe that when you are enforcing a particular regulation, it is the way you enforce it that sustains it. So we are not doing the traditional way of arresting and punishing, but we are approaching it in a manner that we encourage compliance. Okay. I mean, if I sit a driver down and I explain to you what the seatbelt can do to you, I don't think that you will go back and say I will fix it. And also when, after explaining to you, and you know that if you don't do it, it comes with some sanctioning, and that sanction affects your daily bread, of course you will have to fix it.
So let's talk about how this is going to work. When is the task force going out?
I think we had the first discussion with your team. We are going to finalize this week. Then we all agree on the date and communicate the date to the various target groups that we want to visit.
Okay. Oh, so they will know that we're coming.
Yeah, they will know. The point is this. The point is this. You may know that we are coming, but you don't know when we are at a particular terminal.
Explain the makeup of the task force.
So the task force is made up of the DVLA, the National Road Safety Authority, and then the Police MTTD. Yeah, these three makes up the task force.
Okay.
Yeah.
And initially, we're not making any arrests.
They did make a lot of
No,
arrests.
as in on this operation that we're going to go on. The beginning.
The beginning is to sensitize and educate, and then once we've done that, we have identified who has a problem and to resolve.
Okay.
So the second visit is now enforced. Yeah, and that is what we call the encouraging compliance.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just before we end the conversation, because of the place where you're coming from and the experience that you have, as drivers and users of the roads, what are some of the things that we can do to prevent road accidents?
The first thing we should do is that, you see, every time you sit in your vehicle and move the vehicle, remember your chances of returning has reduced, because there are other people on the road who may not be complying, and therefore you yourself must be very defensive and also accommodate the mistakes other people make. When you do that, you see that things that would lead into accidents can easily be avoided. Let's keep to the speeds that have been displayed, and even when speeds are displayed, you should go beyond the speed and see whether the road condition even allows for you to drive at that speed. Your vehicle condition doesn't allow for you to drive at that speed. Currently, when you drive, anytime you look in your back, in your rear view mirror, the immediate driver behind you, you see the person not concentrating because the person is either on phone or making up or reading a paper. It's scary, but the moment you see these things, you have to be very careful. Yes, you have to be very careful. And once we start taking our lives first, taking responsibility that we need to save our lives, we will be able to save ourselves and save others. But where we become careless, then the situation becomes very, unmanageable. Now, if you get to junctions, people don't stop at junctions and they just drive in, and all these things we need to work at it ourselves as drivers in the first place, and make sure that we start to correct the wrong behavior. People drive, get to destination, and try to recall their style of driving and say, I nearly died. And if you nearly died, why did you do it? When you are tired, you are not supposed to drive. You are tired, just have a rest. Your destination will still wait for you. All you need to do is to have proper time management and make sure that you're